What's going on, everyone? This is Nabs from 3&D Podcast. Welcome to another episode. This is episode 8. I'm joined, as always, by Yoz.
Welcome back.
We are missing one of our members. As you can see, Moz isn't here. Moz is unwell. So we pray that he has a speedy recovery. There's rumors that Moz didn't come or he got sick because he didn't win the kicks check last week.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Apparently he was devastated. He went home like crying. And
man, he was a wreck.
Yeah, we wish you all the best. We hope that you finally, get those kicks that you so desperately need to win. But better luck next time, buddy. So we're going to kick straight into it. We've had some breaking news, some juicy breaking news recently. So I think it was just last night, another Woj bomb.
Yeah.
So Bronny and Bronny.
Bronny James.
The Bronsexuals, no Diddy. Apparently, Bron has... What is it actually? Do you want to tell us what?
Yeah, so what I heard was that he's declared for the draft next year and also a transfer of universities as well. So I don't think they're happy with the amount of time and the way things are going down there for Bronny at USC.
So he's getting he's applied to go to the transfer portal.
Yep.
And also he
declared for the 2025 2024 draft.
Just in case he can't transfer somewhere.
Yeah, just in case no one's got a team for him, Daddy might bail him out, Unless GM.
Yeah, so he's not a prospect at the moment, so he's applied for the draft. My question is, do you think he will actually be picked up by a team?
No.
And do you think he will be picked up by anyone other than the Lakers? Or where would you like to see him go if he does go anywhere?
I don't see why not come to Chicago. Maybe get Bron for his last 1 or 2 years if he's in Chicago. But look, I don't see any team in the NBA that he'd fit into. He's not super athletic.
What about just in LA?
What is he going to do in LA, man?
They had Scottie Pippen's son. You may as well have the whole family.
All the sons, all the boys. I don't know why he'd be declaring now. I think it's very odd timing to decide that you're declaring for the draft now. You're not on anyone's radars. You're not a highly scouted prospect. It seems like you're actually trying to utilize your father to get into this draft. What else? Why else would you be declaring for the draft? You're a good young player, but your talent doesn't really elevate you to the level of NBA player quite yet. Maybe another couple of years in college or at a college that can develop you and give you some more playing time and touches. But to declare for the draft now, it's like, why? What are you thinking?
Let's not forget he had a cardiac arrest a year ago. Dude's what, 17, 18? That's nuts, man. That's nuts.
COVID jab.
It's those peptides, bro.
It's that COVID jab, man. It's that COVID jab.
So he had that. So that's got to be a big detractor from, scouting opportunities and other opportunities. And he's not scoring that much in USC. His figures are, okay. They're not great. They're not anything spectacular. So I think now would be the best time, because what's another year of college going to get him?
Development.
Yeah, but what if it goes the opposite way?
Well, say he does get a transfer. What
if his health deteriorates? What if that cardiac arrest becomes a problem? If he's ever going to even touch the NBA.
But is that the objective? Is that the objective now? Just to touch an NBA basketball player to say you made it and then retire?
Well, what else is there? The dude's very famous, very popular on all the socials. He's got all the sponsorships that he ever wants. He's part of FaZe Clan for esports. He can just go straight into esports, He's daddy's boy. What else is there for him to do? is it really to have like a long sustaining career in the NBA to rival his father? I mean, let's face it.
Well, I doubt that, but I mean, if you're a basketball player, your objective is obviously to play the game you love at a high level. I mean, it's not just you're LeBron's son now and you have to make it. It's the pressure that's on you that as long as you made it, you've done your job. I mean, I'm sure he loves the game of basketball. I mean, truly, the objective is just to make it and continue to play. I mean, it's not to rival your father. You're never going to rival your dad.
Yeah,
There's only one or two players I think have rivaled their dads.
I get what you're saying. All I'm saying is, really, what's the motivation? I mean, yes, he loves the game, but we love the game. We're not entering the NBA. You can still play. You know, you've already had success off the court. Most players want that success off the court as well because they all play and they all want to be the guy, the him.
Yeah, but he'll never be a him. No.
That's the thing. So why? So what else is there? That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's not just to
win a championship.
Yeah, with his dad, and then
why with his dad? Why not alone? Yeah. How bad would it be? I mean, you saw what Austin Rivers went through in his time in the league, even when he was not with his father, and the type of things fans and players and people in press would say to him that he's only there because of his dad, which is not true. He was one of top players in college. Could you imagine if Bronny James goes to a team with his dad? Can you imagine the type of negative media he'd be getting for the rest of his career? You'd be setting it like a haram. You'd be setting the boy up for a career of not feeling like you're meant to be there. I mean, even though Austin Rivers knew he was meant to be there because his game did talking, he felt like that. Openly admitted he felt that way. So imagine what it's going to do to his son if you put him on the same team. And I don't see that a recipe for a championship.
The thing is, it's LeBron's dream, right?
Yeah, is it his son's?
Does it really matter?
I reckon it's his son's dream as long as he gets him to the league. Like to me, I'm guessing it's like the whole Lavar Ball situation. As long as my dad can get me in the league, I'm sweet. I can get injured and sit out 2 years or whatnot.
Yeah,
I can say I made it.
Look, it's a great story as well. I mean, if I was LeBron, I'd do everything to get him in as well.
Oh, I would too with my son.
You know, having your son play alongside you, that's a dream, man.
But I mean, look, you're just declaring for the draft after everybody's taken you away from, top prospect, or he fell out of the ESPN's top 20, was it? They're looking like, now you've decided you're going to declare for the draft. It doesn't make sense. It means, you think you want to, I understand the transfer. If you're not getting the court time, if you're not getting the ball, if you're not playing the role that you're made, if you're not playing the role that you're made to play, like if they're playing you out of position, transfer to a college where you get development, get another year under your belt, show the world what you can do, up your stock. I mean, to me, that makes sense. He's not doing anything in college at the moment that's warranting people to go, wow.
But that's the concern, is that the ceiling is tapped out at the moment.
But Steph Curry.
And he's already projected to go second round now, or undrafted. It's really now or never, a lot of people are saying, because if he plays another year and he has the same or worse season, forget about the draft.
But surely
he wouldn't even make the G League.
But surely he couldn't have, it's like the whole Steph Curry thing. If you transfer to a smaller school, you might not win a national championship or nothing, but you get the ability to show your development to the world, because you're not sitting there as a role player or a second fiddle player that's coming in to play garbage minutes or whatnot.
So LeBron's mate is actually a coach at one of the schools. I think
it was his team. It was his teammate.
Yeah,
and that's why he wants to get it transferred to there.
Like I said, I think they want him to get into the NBA now, because LeBron's been hinting at he doesn't have many years left and things like this.
Father time.
Now's the time, I think. That's how I see it. But what a great story. You've got a father who's developed two of his kids now. LeBron's two kids, so
Bryce and
Bronny, and they're looking like ballers, man.
Well, Bryce is.
I think even Bronny, you know, when I watched him in high school, he has like he knows the game. He can see the game,
Yeah,
and that's something that you can build on. You know,
100%.
and athleticism, you know, I can see that that's something that he can develop as well. He doesn't look like someone who, and what is he now? I think 6'6", 6'7", something
No,
like
he's
this.
not 6'7".
He's not that big.
No, he's not that big.
That's probably why, actually.
And
Why he's
that's
being
that's the thing, right? Like you've got players that like Bronny, you can see he knows the game, he understands the game, he knows how to play the game.
He's taller as
But
well.
there's certain things.
Sorry, Bryce is taller.
Yeah, Bryce is a big boy.
Yeah.
But there's certain things these boys just don't have what their dads have. Like it was like Michael with Marcus and Jeffrey. Like they can have all the insight and all the understanding of the game possible, but at the end of the day, if you don't have that, I'm the best, I'm dominating everyone on the court mentality, you're never going to have that in the league either. And LeBron had that since high school. He was always playing with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He had to make it. It was make it or bust for him. And the same with Mike. Like he always had that, like that competitiveness, that I'm the best, I'm this, I'm that. Like if you can't, if you don't have that, like you're never going to get it. So you can have all the understanding of the IQ of the game, and you can see how it can translate to the X's and O's the way Bronny plays, but he's just not aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I even saw a clip of him a few times bringing the ball up and passing the ball off to the non-ball handler before they hit half court and turning the ball over because he doesn't want the pressure of defense on him. It was very strange to see a point guard deferring like that.
or high school?
USC. High school, he was an animal. Like,
yeah.
but again, that's comfortability. If you put him in a college where he's got that availability to play the way he's made to play, then I'm sure his college stock will go up. I'm sure he'll shine.
But do you think, because college it's a different animal, right? In terms of the schemes and everything. Do you think his game would be more suited to an NBA type of basketball rather than college?
Yeah, college is very XO set.
Yeah,
So yeah,
because
100%.
from high school,
you play on the fly a lot more in the
from
NBA.
high school to college becomes a lot more structured.
And technical.
Whereas high school
and transition. Yeah. Look, high school and look, I'm not going to compare the two, but I can see what you mean. It's more of you get a lot of more on the fly moments where you have to create, and that's what he's good at. Like that's something he's inherited from his father. He can create on the fly. He has that that adaptability. So yeah, look, I do believe he'd be more suited to the NBA. He needs a little bit more size and physicality for it, but
no, look, I mean, I look forward to seeing it. I'm all for it, man. I want to see LeBron and Bronny playing together. I was a big fan of, the Ball brothers even playing together, and that brings us to our next topic. The way that, you've got this story where you've got LeBron and his sons trying to bring them into the league, potentially playing together on one team, and then Lavar Ball and his boys. He's developed them. He's gotten them, NBA ready. He's done everything possible from taking them to different leagues, putting them...
to creating leagues.
Creating leagues. I forgot about that.
Yeah, man.
To, marketing, guerrilla marketing, his way to the top.
He's an OG.
Making himself known. And love him or hate him, at first I was a little apprehensive as well, but dude loves his sons. He's done right by them. He's done it the right way for them. Whether you agree with it or not, he's achieved what he said he would achieve. He called eventually that his sons would be playing all on one team. I think there's been a conspiracy against him to stop him from that happening, because at one stage it was close to happening. You had Jello on the Hornets in the G League and whatever. It's just a shame, because when you saw them playing together, they were a force.
Yeah, they were.
And it's a shame. And Lavar's getting back into the media again for right reasons, wrong reasons. There's never, you could never really pinpoint with Lavar, but some of the things that he said recently is to do with the health of his sons, blaming the coaching staff and the medical teams of the teams that they're playing for as to why their health is deteriorating, as well as taking a big fat turd on PUMA shoes and their designs. Do you think Lavar's right? Did you see this report? Do you think he's right about firstly, the medical staff being the cause of the injuries? And secondly, the shoes? Is the shoe thing more to do with his brand and building his brand? Or is there some legitimacy in it?
Well, first off, pick up to Lavar Ball. You're an excellent dad. What you've done for your sons, like I've been in your corner and in your boys' corner from day one. I think it's amazing to be able to talk your reality into existence. I mean, power to you for doing that. Secondly, with regards to exercises and that, like I'm old school as well. Like I believe in a lot of the old school exercise, like you said, Rocky when he's running up the stairs, and he's, all that type of old school stuff. Like all this new age band work and play, what do you call it? Pilates, this and that, and I don't know about it. All I know is that since it's been in the league, we've had so much injuries, so many more injuries like occurring. I know he did talk about his old school style of training the boys, getting them running up the hills and up the mountains and Chino Hills and, you know, chasing the cars and doing all that hard old school stuff. In his mind, it makes bulletproof knees, it makes bulletproof ankles. I mean, I can't really say either way which one's better, but for me, I always prefer the old school style of working out because it's imitating actual movement that you'll be doing every day. It's not all these weird type of movements that they get you doing. With regards to the shoes though, bro.
Sorry, just on that. So you're saying the hill workouts,
they're running up
unnatural?
mountains. No, they're natural.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the unnatural stuff is all those little band movements with all these little tiny movements you do here and there, like all the physicians are doing nowadays, because
it's very targeted and specific.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's very, like I remember when I did rehab on my knee, rehab on my ankles, like whenever I've done it, it's all these very annoying type of workouts. Very, what's the word for it? They feel useless, but it's not useless. Obviously, it's recovering.
The way they do it is they actually can isolate a muscle band and really focus exercise on that specific muscle band. And you're right. I think you're right. Like when you're only rehabbing, if your rehab is the whole joint and
everything
the main thing that's gone, bad is this one tendon or muscle group that's attached to it, and they hyper focus on that.
Yeah.
You're right. It could weaken the other movements in that joint.
It's a theory. I feel that like if you're not working everything in unison, you're not really developing everything properly. I do believe in targeted, isolated workouts for certain muscles, but when you're prone to ankle injuries and knee injuries, like I don't think you should be going too far outside the box with all these little new age styles. Anyway, I don't know too much about that.
I mean, we just have to look at the track record. I mean, he's been out for how many seasons now?
Which one?
Lonzo,
yeah. Yeah,
it's depressing. One of the best prospects coming out of his class, and we've seen glimpses. I actually liked him in the Pelicans too.
Yeah, I did too. I thought he played really well there. Him and Ingram were well together. Like they were good in LA together.
Yeah. They were starting to like really, make moves, and it's a shame, man. And then now with Lamelo, I wanted to say Lavar. Now with Lamelo, I mean, the Hornets need him, man.
Badly. I'll tell you what, Miller's been balling out. Yeah. Miller and Bridges been doing really well, man. But with regards to the shoes, see, he took a dig at them about the shoes that are injuring his son's ankles and whatnot. But it was Lamelo Ball himself. No, sorry, Lonzo Ball himself, who came around and says the only reason my injuries happened was because of my father's shoes. So, I mean, he is right. It was because of the shoes. But according to your own son, it's because of your shoes, Lavar, who was changing 2 or 3 shoes a game when he was 4, when he's wearing your shoes.
In this day and age, that's inexcusable, man, to have a shoe that can't last, a whole game.
No.
That's just wrong.
So, that's my view. I don't believe there's anything to the whole Puma thing. I mean, Puma are sort of new in the game. Like, I won't say they're new, but they don't have much to their label. You know what I mean?
They're one of the players now. They've been in the league since I mean, they were in the league a long time ago, and they've with the Clydes, and now they've re-released or they've come back onto the market. It's been, how long has it been? I think it's been about 5 or 6 years now.
Well, I remember there was I had some March Madness Pumas. They were some of the best basketball shoes I ever felt.
They've got a lot of people signed to their brand. A lot of players, top players, signed to their brand. The technology of Puma, just to quickly speak on shoes. Firstly, I believe my stance on the issue with Lonzo and with Lavar's statements, I think it's a bit of both. I think there's definitely he's legit in saying what he said about the medical. There's an element of the medical rehab and medical staff and coaching team that I think is not conducive to getting Lonzo back on the court quickly enough. And who knows? I was watching something recently. I can't remember what it was, where they said that it was in their best interest to not have a player come back so that they can develop young talent and, not lose any stock on the injured player, and then to be able to trade him at a higher potential stock to be able to move him on for something more than what his injuries show and whatnot. So there is a concern that might be happening, but I think he's got a point. And like you said, old school rehab, running up hills, instead of using the balance boards that they use now, you're actually physically getting out on the hills and stressing
in the
stretching.
Sand dunes and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you're getting all those variable micro movements that are actually helping build those tendons and tissues and muscles.
Stability and that. Look, I did hear something a while back from players saying with regards to the amount of injuries happening, and I mean, I'm not in the circle, so I can't really say specifically that it's true or not, but from what it sounds like, it's a similar argument coming from older players and players saying that they don't actually practice enough anymore. It's a lot of these workouts, these type of workouts, and the practices are not as important. And this is even throughout college and high school. And the practices are not as important as games. Now, if you go back to the 90s and the 80s, they'll tell you that the practices were harder than games, and that all we did was practice, like scrimmage. So the conditioning we were getting was always exactly imitating game conditioning, like the way we played and the things we did. So that's what they were doing at practice. Whereas in the practice have become more, I won't say Pilates driven, but movement focused on, as we said, isolated muscle workouts for maximized movements and proper movements on the court.
It's become too sciencey.
Yeah, it's too sciencey. And I think that's, like, from what I heard players saying, that's been a lot of the reasons why they think injuries have been so massive.
Yeah,
because of moving away from traditional practice. It's less practice, more games. So, I mean,
I've also heard that there's more miles on the kids' bodies before they get into the league. That's another factor.
Yeah.
But coming back to the shoes, I won't speak too long about this, but Lavar's right in some aspects. So the Pumas, the MB1s, it wasn't the best Puma shoe. Which is weird because, you just signed a star like Lamelo over Nike and other more favorable destinations for him. You'd think you'd develop a shoe. Instead, what they did, they almost mimicked the KD line because Lamelo liked the KD line prior to signing with Puma. There was a few clips where KD was like, yeah, they're your shoes now. You're rocking them better than me and so on. But it looked like they almost tried to mimic that. And it could have been, feedback from Lamelo. He would have probably helped develop it and whatnot. But there were some problems with the MB1. The cushion was nice, but it was too narrow.
Around the toe box.
It wasn't, it wasn't stable enough. And for a shifty player like he is, who's a taller shifty player, he's 6'7", I think, 6'7", 6'8". His center of gravity is, much higher than most at playing the way that he plays, I would have expected him to have a more stable, probably a wider outrigger, stabilizing his foot a bit better and being able to give him more trust and feedback. Something similar to a Kyrie type of shoe, or even a Kobe type of shoe, where it's got that outrigger to stop him from rolling over, because he's rolled his foot.
Ja Morant would have those on his.
Ja's pretty good as well. Ja actually mimicked, so
because he's one of those players that I said when he came into the league, he's going to do a knee.
So Ja, Sabrina's shoe, and the Kobe's, they were actually developed by the same. I know the Sabrina and the Kobe's were developed or designed by the same person. The Jars, I think they were as well. I could be wrong, but you can see there's a lot of very familiar things in all of them.
Same DNA.
Yeah. So I think Lavar is right. I think the Puma line, and it hasn't gotten better. It's up to the MB03, and they've made the cushion better. But for Lamelo, who's a young, really shifty player, you don't want to give him a thick cushion. You want to give him tactile or feedback.
Like the Tatums.
Yes, except the Tatum's, that bubble under the forefoot for a player like...
Yeah, I love that bubble.
For a player like Lamelo, it wouldn't work. If you look at Tatum, he's much more downhill.
Yeah, they're made for a lot of step backs, those shoes, man.
You need more lateral type shoes.
Yeah.
So like the Kyrie. So what Puma has done is they've given him like a thick slab of cushion, and it's a really comfort-driven shoe, as opposed to a
performance.
It's a performance shoe, but it's not a lateral type shifty shoe.
Yeah.
So that's a problem, and they're heavy. They're not as light as they should be, and also the heel slippage in those were horrible. When you get the lows, I can't play in them. I love the look of them.
You got the mellows.
I've got multiple mellows, but the lows, I could not play in them. My heel just kept slipping, and I tried different knots to keep them in. Yeah, I didn't have any trust in that heel. So yeah, I agree with Lavar. I think Puma, and the thing is, Puma's got better shoes. They've got really good shoes.
Yeah, those, as I said, those March Madnesses I had, they were some of the best. I never wore them on the court though, but they were some of the best.
Madness one?
It was, man, they were some of the most comfortable shoes. Puma March Madness.
So yeah, the All Pros are their top line. They would have been a better type of shoe for him as well. It's just weird, man. It's weird that they went with a shoe like that for him. Speaking of shoes,
yeah,
I think we should go to one of our favorite segments.
Oh, that's early.
Let's roll the tape. All right, you're up first.
Shoe king. Real shoe king.
Will the real shoe king please stand up?
Today we're wearing the Nike GT Zooms. I call these the Marvel colorway. It's not Marvel, but
wait, no,
Marvel.
Sorry, GT Hustle.
GT Hustle. Yeah, my bad. See the sneakerhead. Love the color. I love how it pops. The comfortability on the court, crazy.
Yeah, you gotta like the urine stain.
A what? Where's that?
I call it the urine.
What is the urine?
It looks like the upper was dipped in pee.
Oh, you mean the lime?
Yeah, I've got a pair that's all urine. Well, they're nice, man.
Shoes?
Not those, no. I've got the BYWs. They're all hyper yellow like that.
Yeah, they're so comfortable.
They're nice, man. I like the two tones, the orange and the yellow. It's nice.
The thing is, it's very hard to keep the toe box clean. I mean, I got these shoes 2 days ago, and toe box already got a little stain on it.
Yeah, we had heavy rains, so.
Yeah, man, Sydney weather.
Very nice, man. They're comfortable, yeah?
Very comfortable. You can see they're comfy though, can't you? You can see they're so, like, the air inside.
You know, the only thing I didn't like about these was the translucent outsole. I don't like the translucent outsole.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a Calypso.
No, I don't trust translucent for traction. But they just released a colorway that's solid, so I might check them out. I've been
With the black and red one? They're like $275. They're
No, I think this one's like a cream. But yeah. Nice, man.
Yeah. That's why I'm the shoe king.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh.
All right. Oh, how do we get this in frame?
The month's nearly over, man.
There we go. Yeah, still not over yet.
Ramadan Ri.
Kyrie. I mean, this is my last one. So we're almost up to the playoffs. I won't be representing Kyrie because I need the Warriors to win. So today will be the last day, unfortunately, for my brother, Ramadan Ri. And these are one of my favorites. I thought I'd leave them till last. I do have one more, but that's it. I'm done. I've solidified my spot in sneaker king folklore.
He's a queen to be.
So these are the Kyrie 5, I think, the Bandaloo special. So
Look at that Banksy look.
yeah, I love the embroidery hits. So that's it. That's my last entry with my Kyrie. So representing Ramadan Ri, finishing it off, last one, and ending it with a bang. So Sneaker King is here.
And his name is yours.
Sneaker King has taken his crown. Unfortunately, this will be the last entry for today. Again, we wish you all the best, Moz. And that's it for Kicks Check.
You should send us your kicks with your shahata and your hairy toes, bro.
I wanted to talk about, it's unfortunate, man. I really don't want to talk about this, but every week there seems to be some ridiculous call that, gets publicized. And this week's no different. There's been a few. I'm just going to pick up on a couple. So the first one was the Zion. I want to get your reaction to this. So let me just play this clip. So this was Orlando and Pelicans earlier in the week. And Zion, so close to the postseason. This is horrible. Undercut him. Who was it, actually? I forgot who the player was.
It looks like he's going to get up and brawl.
But look how quickly, Gary Harris, that's right. Look how quickly he calmed down, man. That's maturity. That's maturity.
Yeah, but I mean, whoa.
That's just a bad play, man.
I mean, you can see he didn't mean to do that.
Such a bad play. Yeah, but why are you doing that? Why are you going that?
He
okay,
slipped.
so he did slip.
His left foot, yeah.
That's shocking, man.
Still, like,
that's such a bad play. But the way Zion tried to recover, I love that. I love that. Most of the big men, they fall hard. He's actually tried to roll over and use his momentum.
it's a man's game.
Good
Big
on you,
boys
Z.
here. Big boys.
Good on you, Z. I'm loving that. But yeah, that's just a shocker. And they didn't change the call. They didn't upgrade it. Nothing. And I get it. Like you said, it's a man's game. Contact is expected, but this should never happen.
That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, especially this close and such a.
If he didn't have such a big ass, like, he would have injured himself hard.
He's got that Barkley ass.
Yeah, he's got that cushioning.
No diddy.
He's got that Nicki Minaj.
The badonkadonk. You got that badonkadonk.
I'm going to get myself in trouble.
So there's another one I wanted to play. This one was just today, actually. This is a freshie. This one's hot off the press, Yusuf. This one's a fresh... this is an ad, is what it is. Let me just tee this one up. I just realized I've actually got YouTube with no ads. I could have just played it through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was the Iowa-UConn Final Four matchup. And it was...
Very controversial.
Did you see this? Last seconds of the game, and they called an offensive foul.
What are you doing with your hair?
Yeah, it's getting out of control, man. But look at this. In real time, that looks clean. When you slow it down, she protects herself, no problem, but then there's a little extra effort at the end. A little extra something, you know. Let them know, let them feel you, as I like to say. No diddy.
Look, if you notice, more lately and more recently, a lot of the screens that people are setting, they're setting them with their elbows sort of extended.
So this one, she actually put that extra little
oomph.
Yeah. So in slow-mo, I can see how you could definitely call that an offensive. But in real time, that should never have been called.
Oh, Miss Clark. How'd you miss that one?
Yeah, that should never have been called, man. It's unfortunate.
Well, what do you mean? They've got to protect their future face. Like, she's the great white hope, as they call her now.
We don't want you to take the $5 million.
Yeah, they're literally calling her the next great white hope now.
But yeah, it's just a shame to see these calls. This one's controversial. I'll grant them that. It could have gone both ways. But these aren't the only examples. I'm only playing the most recent ones and the most obvious ones. But like Will's saying off air, Steph Curry's been absolutely manhandled.
He's been hammered.
And
someone's making money. Calls. Someone's making money, man.
He hasn't been getting any calls. So much so that I can't remember which game. I think it was not today. It was the last game before this one. I think it was against Houston. He threw up his hands, I think in the fourth quarter, he finally got a call. And he threw up his hands like celebrating, like, yes, yes. You know, so it's a shame to see it come to this. I just wish the refs would, you know, do their job, man. Like, I will give them this, though. I will give them this. I have noticed that they are actually starting to call it better. So before they were just not calling any contact. They were just not calling anything. It was almost like they just wanted to go, you know, cold turkey and just completely go the other way. Now I'm noticing they're allowing contact. They're allowing the right type of contact, the type of stuff that we would expect in FIBA, where if the offensive player is initiating the contact, they're not going to call that.
But that's I agree with
that. Brunson's been a big target for this.
But it was the same thing.
He does that little jerking back into the player.
But it's the same thing I said about Derrick Rose a while ago. Like, he never used to get the calls, and they used to say to him, it's because, look, mate, you're initiating contact. You're jumping into him. Now, I like it, but the thing is, if you're going to stop and start calling the game like you've been calling it, you also have to ease up on tech fouls, because you're having players pretty much go cold turkey. Players that are used to this,
Pelicans.
They need to be also have some more lenience, because they're obviously going to react. Because the season before, you're giving them these calls. So if you're not going to lay off the tech fouls and be a bit more interactive with the players, and a bit more lenient, then you can't just go calling it one way and not change another aspect of the game too.
Yeah,
because refs coaches are getting chucked out, players are getting chucked out. Man, you're screwing up the game. And
the thing is, it happened mid-season. It wasn't like it was announced or anything like that.
Exactly right.
And the statistics show, you know, after All-Star break, the fouls have dropped significantly. So they did it without warning. So you're right. You know, they should have at least eased up on something, you know, at least on their reactions. It's a shock to everyone. So you should expect that and not just be looking to send people off. Like just recently in that Pelicans game, I think it was Pelicans, wasn't it? It was at the end of the game and they sent like 3 players off. They ejected like 3 or 4 players. You didn't see it?
Which was this lately?
Yeah, it was this week.
No, I
it
missed
was a couple of days ago. So
did they send the coach as well?
I don't think it was the coach. They sent 3 players. So it was, I think, it was dying seconds of the game.
Oh, I probably turned it off at that point.
It was dying seconds of the game, and someone argued, and then the ref kept coming up to them. You remember?
I know they
This-
did to Chris Paul.
This gives me flashbacks of the Wildcats where the ref came up to me on the bench like, I'm already on the bench, man. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Go do your job. Looking to get a reaction out of me.
Actually, I remember that.
Yeah. So it was the same thing with these Pelicans. The refs just kept coming up like, walk away, man. Just walk away. And they ended up sending 3 players off with 4 seconds to go.
Garbage time. So what's the point
It's
of
rubbish. They'd already
What's the
lost
point?
the game.
What is the point of
It's
that?
just stupid. I get you want to, maintain discipline and order and this and that, but come on, man. At some point, your feelings are hurt. Like, just walk away. You're paid to cop that and walk away. You're not paid to go and chase, players' emotions.
They're instigating, and they're
silly.
They keep going at the player to get them worked
It's
up.
the worst, man. When you hear a ref say, "Keep going," you going to keep going?
Yeah.
Are you going to keep going?
Oh
Are
man, you want to
keep going?
smack him out?
Like, what are you doing?
Look, they need to be fined too. Like, there has to be something with these end of game reports when things are so blatant and they've come out and admitted, oh, okay, we missed this, miss this, miss this. They need to be held to account as well.
100%.
I mean,
100%.
obviously you're not going to get every call, but there's some that are just ridiculous. Like, what was the other one on the buzzer the other day with Kelly Oubre 2 times. And then like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, we stuffed
Your
up.
mum's a bitch.
We stuffed up, but you know what? Who cares? You lost your game. You should be fine too.
I love Oubre, man. I've
Yeah.
always liked Oubre.
Yeah, he's funny. Reminds me of like a Jimi Hendrix type player, man.
But I think we'll leave it. Look, I hate that we have to talk about the refs every single episode.
Don't we all?
So I'll leave it there. And let's move on to playoff predictions. We're coming up to the last week of the regular season.
Exciting times, man.
And it's starting to build up. Unfortunately, there's been a few injuries too. Wishing all the top players and all the players, for contending teams, the best of health, because Zion.
East is a mess. East is a mess.
Zion, I mean, it wasn't even just that play that we saw. It was after, I think you told me, he ended up injuring his finger on the ring or something. They said it's nothing. There's no break or anything, and he was expected to return, I think, today. So he'll probably be back soon. But yeah, injuries are stacking up. And Embiid, man, what do you know? They actually did. He did a sneak attack, man.
Mm-hmm.
He actually came back.
I told you, Moz. Told you.
You told me as well.
You were wrong.
I said there's no way. Like Sixers would have to be dumb to bring him back.
And he had his big knee brace on, and he was a bit ginger, but
Big
still
knee brace, dude had a robotic freaking leg.
But he still dropped what, 30 or 29 or 26 or something.
29 minutes.
Not many
or something.
boards, but that's a given. It's your first game back.
But you could see.
But they got the W, and Maxi got his buckets, and that's the difference. It's when he's on the court, Maxi has room to operate because you got another threat out there.
Maxi had what? He had a big game. He had
30
like
something,
30 something points. Yeah.
But that's what you need them together.
But what are they playing for, man? Like they're
Championship.
They're in the 7th seed, I think, at the moment.
Doesn't matter. I said as long as they can hold out for that play-in, if Embiid comes back, and if he's healthy enough to make a run, brother, there's so many teams that he just eats.
Yeah, but do you see them beating like
I see him beating Chicago. I see him beating Atlanta.
Bucks?
I see them beating Miami.
Bucks?
I see them beating the Bucks.
Get out of here.
I see them Well,
Look,
Bucks got to decide what's going on.
Okay, I don't like Mr. Rivers, but I'm always backing Giannis healthy. I'm always going to back Giannis
Yeah,
healthy.
but this is the thing. Their team's not 100%.
Yeah, I agree with you.
One day Lillard's on, one day he's not on.
But it's postseason. They should figure it out, man. They
should.
They should figure it out to at least go a little bit
I don't think
deep.
the Bucks get out of the second round. But then again, depends. The East is very weak
It's hard
right
to
now.
argue with you, man. It's hard to argue with you right now.
Yeah, because Embiid's back.
It's not that. It's because of what you said. The Bucks are a mess, man.
They are, and they should be eating the league, which technically they are in the East. Like, look at them; they're sitting second. They've been pretty much there all season. So I mean, it's not like they've been affected much. but it's when you need it. That's when it comes to
Did I send you the playoff
be a
bracket?
problem. You put in the group, yeah.
Ah, I see. So let's bring that up. So let's bring up. This is the standings as of today and what it looks like.
It's going to be interesting to see Golden State and Lakers because I'm telling you, Golden
So-
State in 7 series, Golden State.
So looking at that, we've
Oof.
got the East.
You got to be worried, man.
You know what? Actually,
You got to be worried.
I just remembered.
7 games, LeBron and AD
So Moz
against
actually,
Kyrie. You got to be worried.
I don't think the Lakers will. I think the Lakers are making a run. They're going to go.
You don't
they
think they'll be in the play-in?
No, they'll be in the play-in, but
Okay.
they'll be 7th or 8th seed. There's no way they're going to stay in 9th the way that they're playing at the moment. So they'll get two bites at the apple. So Moz actually sent me his picks. So let me see if I can bring that up.
The diddler. Keep it a surprise for you,
You
sir.
saw that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick the play.
I thought I said OKC was one.
Yeah, so we'll review last predictions, but we'll do the play-in winners for East and West. We'll do the conference finals, what you would expect to see the teams playing in both divisions, and the finals and the champions. So we'll do all those. So before we start, so what was it, episode
2 weeks ago.
5, I think. Something like that. So we made our predictions. Mainly we spoke about the West. We kind of skipped over the East. But you had top 4 in the West: Nuggets, OKC, Clippers, Pelicans, all
Suns.
Suns. Okay.
It was the Pels or Suns. I couldn't say because Suns were playing horrible at that time.
And Moz had OKC, Nugs, Pels, Clippers, and Mavs.
To 5th, which I think is where they're sitting at the moment, isn't it?
You know what?
Nabs top 4.
Your picks were Nugs, number 1, OKC 2, Clippers 3, Pels or Suns 4. So currently we have Minnesota number 1.
That was wild. That was wild, man.
Nuggets number 2. So Nuggets, you had number 1. OKC number 3. So you got OKC right so far. Clippers you had at 3. They're 4th. Hang on. No, you didn't get any right. What am I talking about? Yeah, So OKC's 3rd. Clippers are 4th. Okay. So you didn't get those right. Moz had OKC number 1, Nugs number 2, Pels number 3, Clips number 4, Mavs 5th. Okay, so you had Clips right. I've got OKC, Nugs, Clips, Wolves. So I got them all wrong as well. Man, and the thing is, they're only like a game apart, I think.
Yeah, no, they're not far at all. I think it's half a game between the Clippers and Mavs.
And Nuggets. Oh well, Nuggets and Wolves, I think, are tied, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're tied at 53 wins. OKC's 1 game back, and yeah, so the Clippers look like they're going to stay in that position. I don't see them going
Yeah, it's
up.
Phoenix and Mavs.
Yeah. Yeah,
and New Orleans
Mavs.
and the Pels.
Why didn't Luka play today?
I think it was ankle soreness or something
okay.
like that.
Yeah, they did well.
They didn't need him, man.
Kyrie, freaking
Ramadan Ree, bro. Just
it never looks like he's missing lately, man.
no, bro. He's just
Every shot just looks so smooth.
he's an immaculate player, man.
So
Melbourne.
So now that we're 1 week away, let's review our. So we've already reviewed our picks. What would you change?
Oh, we didn't review the East.
No, we didn't do the East properly last time.
Oh, yeah, because it was a disaster of a conference.
So let's do that now. So where do you think? Let's forget about the top, okay? Because the play-in is where it's most exciting at the moment. Who do you think?
7, 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to change? Do you think Houston has anything left in the tank
No, Houston
to make a run? They're 4 games back now.
No, Houston aren't coming to the playoffs, man.
Yeah, I think they're 1 win away from being eliminated.
Yeah.
1 loss away from being eliminated. So it looks like, for me, it looks like the 4's going to stay. Or sorry, the
Only New Orleans and Sacramento might change. Lakers might go up 1 spot, but I don't think they're catching New Orleans.
You know, I see Sacramento being a less experienced Warriors in the postseason.
Oh, they're a championship team. They should be. They're created really, really well, and then they're not 100% healthy at the moment.
I don't think they're going to go very far.
Because of experience, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. They've got the guts. They've got the grit. They've got everything that made the Warriors last championship. They've got everything it takes for that. The only thing is they don't have that caliber, that experience, that level of experience to take them all the way.
And consistency. Look, they're a great team, but they're not playing like they were last year.
And Monk being out is going to hurt him. That's 20. That's 20 plus points off the bench.
Massive.
Man. That's huge. And look, I'll never count out Mike Brown and his team because I think players like Keegan Murray can.
Because you're a Warriors fan.
Well, Keegan Murray can step up. Keegan Murray can
in the playoffs though.
I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm saying you're going to see some players step up that you probably wouldn't have expected.
Oh yeah, without
under
a
a Mike Brown coach team. So that's why I'm saying they've got the grit. They've got everything that the Warriors would have had in the championship run. They just lack that championship experience.
I worry about that. To be honest, I worry about the Pelicans, even though they're sitting in a pretty decent spot.
Injuries, man.
Yeah, I'm worried about their progress. And like, I know we've been picking up Williamson a lot, and talking him up playing the point guard position. But lately, past few games,
the four-game losing streak. Man.
Yeah, I've been watching him. He's been very mediocre, very timid too.
He
chooses the wrong time to step up.
The plus is McCollum's had a couple of good games.
Yeah,
he's stepping up. If he can stay that way and give him that boost, I think he gave him 30 points the other day. If he can be a contributor like that, and Zion still keep doing his thing, and then Brandon Ingram come back, they could be. I mean, when you've got players like Dyson Daniels and all the extras, even Valanciunas,
they've missed Ingram. They've missed Ingram in his shooting. They really have. I think today the 3-point shot was nowhere, man.
So let's discuss this. So where would you see the play-in teams, 7, 8, 9, 10? How would you see it finishing? Which teams have you got and which order?
Probably got maybe Sacramento at 7, New Orleans at 8. So maybe Sacramento at 7, Lakers at 8, New Orleans at 9, and Warriors probably staying in the 10 spot. So I think just a shuffle of the top 3.
So what did Moz have?
I think he goes Sacramento, LA, New Orleans, and Golden State.
Moz had play-in winners. Wait, he didn't even list the play-in. He just said the winners. What a loser. Heat and Philly.
You hear that, King? King Moz? You're a loser.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he only just picked the winners of the play-in. Did I ask only for the winners? Maybe I did. Let's do the order and then we'll talk about the winners. So you've got...
no, let me get him on the phone. Get his opinion.
He's not going to answer. No way he's going to answer.
He might answer.
So what did just do your one before you call him?
I said New Orleans is going to drop to 9.
Okay.
Lakers at the 8 and Sacramento at the 7.
Sacramento at 7. Sacramento at the 7. Okay. I've got the Warriors moving up to 8. I've got Lakers moving up to 7. And I've got New Orleans and Sacramento.
You're the Warriors moving up to 8.
Yeah.
Wow, we will well.
Yeah. Wiggs will be back. Kuminga's going to be back.
Yeah, your boy didn't answer.
I told you it wouldn't. So yeah, I'm going a little bit ambitious. I'm going to swap the table. So Lakers, Warriors, New Orleans, Sacramento. So the 2 top will be the 2 bottom, and the 2 bottom will be the 2 top. That's how I see it.
The 2 top will be the bottom and the 2 bottom will be the top.
Yeah.
So you think Sack will drop?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think New Orleans going to have a tough time next week, and they're going to have some decisions to be made. You know, do we try just to win the play-in, or do we try to get a seed? Because they need to stretch it out longer without trying to put too much stress, because they've had players just come back from injury like Alvarado or the extras. Dyson Daniels was he was injured recently as well.
Yeah.
So
I can't believe there's only like 5 games to the end of the season.
Yeah, so they're very stretched on the bench as well. I don't see them wanting to push harder right now. They want to get some reps in.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be comfortable to just stay in the play-in. And I don't think it really bothers them whether they're in the 7th or the 10th seed, because they've been quite good in the play-in in the past. It's almost like familiar territory for them.
I'll tell you what, if that stays the standings, whoever's in the 8th seed or whoever comes out of the play-in is going to be very happy to face Minnesota.
If Minnesota stays, I don't see them staying.
But that's what I'm saying. If they stay there, whoever's in the 8th seed, I swear to God, if Minnesota stays in there, I guarantee you Lakers going to get through the playoffs.
What's wrong with Shai? He didn't play either, did he?
No, he's been battling a little bit lately.
Okay.
He's been in and out of the
because
lineup.
I was starting to get suspicious of their losses. I was starting to think that maybe they're trying to hunt matchups. Yeah.
Mm. But I'm just thinking, LA get Minnesota first round. Minnesota's done. LeBron ain't losing that to that team. There's no way. And that's how it works, right? And I think that's happened a few times where LeBron's got the luck of the number 1 seed, but it hasn't been the true number 1.
You know who Minnesota reminds me of right now, and I know this isn't a fair comparison, but Jordan's first playoffs. They're on borrowed time.
Oh yeah, but
you know what I mean?
He didn't have any any defensive player of the years with him or any all-stars with him.
Yeah, but
no all-stars.
I'm just saying, like, Anthony Edwards has what it takes to really like drag them kicking and screaming through the postseason, but
I've changed my mind.
He's
again.
on borrowed time.
Yeah, I've changed my mind again. Watching him over the past few games, I don't see it. I don't see what they've been like. We saw a few games. Yeah, it was very Jordan-esque. I think it's the curse of the Jordan thing, because once it's been said, you watch him, and he's started to fall off a bit again. I remember early in this series that we've had here, I said he's very inconsistent. Like he'll have some games where wow, then he'll have games where he's got 9 points. I mean, that's not what you need from it. You need him to be the number 1 option. You need him to be dropping 30 points a game if you have any hope. Otherwise, don't know what you're doing sitting at the king of the castle. Like, what are you sitting in number 1 position for?
And the king of the castle.
King of the castle.
You
Cue
go
the
do
Borat
this.
meme.
Go
Yeah.
do that. All right, let's move it on to the East for the play-in only, and we'll come back to the rest of them, just so we kind of
My boys.
So the East is a bit of a mess for me. I'm actually surprised that Atlanta is where they are, but it's obvious. I mean, you've got it already. Everyone's eliminated. It is what it is now. It's just a matter of positions and seeding.
Oh, an upset can happen.
Well, Brooklyn's, they're all out. Everyone below 10 is out, unlike the West where Houston still has a fighting chance.
61 wins. Far out, man.
Yeah, they're looking good. They're going on another streak.
Best season for health for the Boston this year.
That's what worries me.
Yeah, they come playoffs, they get injured.
That's what worries me.
It's like the Bucks last year. All of a sudden, first round, Giannis goes down, hurts his back, he's out for the whole series.
How long are they going to have the luck of the leprechaun? How long? How long, bro?
I said they won't make the playoffs, and if they do make the playoffs,
what did you say? No,
I said if they face Philly, they won't make I said if they face Philly, they won't make the finals.
Yeah,
I go, and that's if Embiid's back.
You said they're not making the finals.
I said, yeah.
You categorically said they're not going to the finals.
I said if Embiid's back, they won't. Yeah, I said if Embiid comes back, then they won't go to the finals. I reckon they'll be eliminated in the the Eastern Conference
There
Finals.
was a couple of times where
Yeah.
we were just starting and you just interrupted and went,
Boston
Boston's
ain't,
not going to the
yeah, that's
finals.
right. Boston ain't winning the chip. That's not happening.
That's it.
And I said if Embiid comes back and Philly actually make a push and they get matched up with Embiid in the first round, I'll say goodbye to Boston.
So the play-in,
So
let's look
goodbye, Boston Celtics.
let's look at the play-in, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you see, look, Indiana's worrying me, man. Indiana's worrying me. Tyrese is getting his assists, but he's not scoring, and
No.
they're relying on Siakam.
I told you, Siakam.
They've got almost a Milwaukee type problem on their hands. No one knows.
They're all
who's steering-
frigid.
No
They're
one
all
knows
frigid,
who's
man.
steering the ship.
I see Tyrese Halliburton today, and I'm watching him and shoot the ball or shoot the ball. No, he comes off, he passes it off, then sits near half court waiting for something to happen, then gets the ball back and then drives it, gets close to it, passes it off. It's like, bro, you're all frigid. You're all scared except for Pascal
He only had
Siakam.
8 points today,
Yeah.
but he had 11 assists. Sorry, 1 sec.
Pascal Siakam, man, I'm telling you, without him, they wouldn't have even got this far. When Halliburton went down, if they didn't get Siakam to the team, no, I wouldn't have got that far.
But Siakam,
But you said it yourself, you don't think that style of basketball is going to make a deep run.
there you go.
So, I mean, shouldn't have you worried.
No, I wanted to hope, but yeah, you're right. I did say that. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you see it changing? Who have you got?
Oh. I do see Philly. I see Philly moving up one spot. I see
Okay.
Miami maybe dropping one spot. Or maybe Indy dropping one spot.
So what?
Miami dropping one spot. So I reckon it'll
Philly
be...
goes up to 7th. Miami goes up to 8th. Goes down to 8th.
Yeah.
So they do a little dotsy-do.
Yeah, look, Chicago can't move. Chicago
It's too
can't
many.
move. Atlanta can't move.
Yeah.
They're only between each other.
I don't think Atlanta wants to go in the postseason. I mean, they don't have...
Well, what's going on with Trey?
Trey's not coming back.
He's done.
He's done for the season.
Done.
And I was
Should have got a
watching...
haircut.
I was watching a podcast with him and DeJounte's DJs. I don't know, man. I don't think they want to play together. As nice as they are to each other and whatnot.
They don't match. Their games don't complement each other.
Yeah.
You have
so,
both on the court, and you have one that's out of commission at all times.
So
Because-
I think management would have to put a stop to it.
Mm.
Why would you want them to go deep and then miss out on? But it's not really a good draft this year, is there?
Mm.
There's not really anyone that they
You
need.
can get Caitlin Clark.
Give him $5 million.
Put her and Bogdan Bogdanovic on the side, shooting threes. Oof, man.
Bergie's had a little bit of an outburst recently.
Yeah,
Haven't you
he's
seen it? Then he
the
went
coach, yeah.
and then he apologized.
Then they
to him
dapped
straight
each other
after.
up. Like,
I'm sorry.
that's how gentlemen should act. Like,
Come on, bro. Not
like
from the
that.
Slavic, man. You don't back down.
It's your
Come on,
coach.
bro.
It's your coach, man.
Pull out that stick with the nails on the end of it and start belting his calf with it. My Slavic brother. Yeah, look, I don't see it changing, to be honest. I've got maybe Pacers drop, and New York's worrying me, man. I don't know what's going on in New York, man.
It's Julius Randle.
Yeah, so he's out for the season. You said shoulder, yeah? Gone.
So they tried to rehab it without surgery and get him ready for because sometimes that works. Like you can get him through the playoffs and all that, do enough rehab and
They
then
just
do surgery in the off season.
Herbal tea.
But yeah, pretty much. But it wasn't happening. It wasn't working. So now they have to do surgery and they've ruled him out. I mean, he might not even be ready for the start of the next season either. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
a
a
6
shame.
months or 5 months surgery recovery time.
It's a shame, man. It's a shame.
Yeah, so I think maybe they've just been like, oh shit. And
Yeah,
just
so-
been a bit deflated, man.
So that worries me, man. And you said also Orlando's, you don't see Orlando,
No,
as
Banquero's
fizzled.
yeah, he's a frigid too.
Yeah, I mentioned a few episodes ago that I think teams have figured them out. I think the run that they've had, that's it. That's all it's going
Look,
to
if
be.
Banchero can get to the line every single game as much as he does, then yeah, they've got a chance. But they're not going to call it in the playoffs the way they call it in the regular season. And like
That'd
you're
be
one of the
interesting.
highest free throw shooting players, to be honest.
That'd be interesting to see how the refs actually call the postseason this year, especially with all the changes that they've made.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually a bit, and this is what I said earlier, I'm a bit concerned when it comes to Philly. I'm a bit torn because if Embiid's going to get these phantom calls that he gets all the time, then yeah, I put them as a front runner to get to the finals. But if they don't, then they're going to struggle because I mean, not only with his injury and recovering and not getting his foul calls, the fatigue you'll go through playing that position.
He had a fall the other day as well. That was a bit worrying.
Yeah. You need Embiid off again.
That was his first game. So I don't see it changing. Do you see the standings changing?
Not much, man. Not much. Just again, just between Chicago and ATL, maybe Miami and Philly. Other than that, not really.
And who do you see coming out of the play-in? Which two teams?
Chicago and Philly.
Yeah.
I could say Miami.
I've got Chicago and Miami.
But it depends who's Miami's versus. It depends what it's going to look like at the end. Is it going to be Miami versus Philly? Because if it is, Miami win that matchup.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Or is it going to be Chicago and Atlanta?
Yeah, but Miami and Philly get two chances, two bites at the pie. So if it's 7 and 10 and then 8 and 9, yeah, I've got Chicago beating Sixers.
What?
Because it'll be 8 and 9, yeah?
But you got Chicago beating the Sixers.
Yeah. I don't trust Embiid's going to be
This won't
there.
age very well.
I don't trust Embiid's going to be there for a while. I don't. And like I said in previous episodes, Philadelphia would be dumb to keep relying on him in his condition because they don't have a championship team. I don't believe they have a championship team right now. They've had some success. They've had some standout performances. Kelly Oubre's been amazing, but I don't see them as a championship
They've got the
team.
real MVP.
Yeah, he had a stellar season, man.
Yeah. I mean, to come back off injury and be doing what he's doing already.
You have
Unlimited
to-
minutes. Oof, baby.
Boston's getting snubbed left, right, and center, man. Number one team with number one record and no consideration for, Jason Tatum. I understand, you're looking for something else, but come on, man.
He's not MVP.
Success is success.
You can't be MVP with Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis. You can't. How are you an MVP when you've got... It's three of you.
You got to at least consider. You've got to give him a consideration, man. With that record, you've got to give one of their players a consideration,
Why?
man.
They're both
Why
dropping
not?
over 20 points a game. All three of them are dropping over 20 a game.
Yeah.
There's no MVP there.
Come on, man.
There's no MVP there.
It's just not right, man. It's just not right. It doesn't sit well with me. I don't disagree with you.
None of you are valuable if you all need each other to get that many wins. Like, look, the age of super teams are dead. They're dead. Show me the super teams throughout the league. What are you doing? You think that formula works? It doesn't work. It worked a couple times. Every other time it's happened, it's never worked. Look at Brooklyn. Did it work at Brooklyn? No. Did it work at Phoenix? Is it working at Phoenix? No. What else did it not work?
Yeah, but you can't argue that they've had good regular season success, and if that translates into the playoffs,
I won't.
if it does,
And even if it does,
put your hate aside.
if they get to the finals, the West is gonna kick your ass, bro. Boston are not winning.
I'd like to see if
Damn
Missoula's
potato
got more.
farmers, huh?
I'd like to see if Missoula's got more in his tank. But yeah, so
Well, he's like one of the youngest coaches of all time, isn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's got the
Is he?
experience.
What about Silas?
I think he's one of the youngest coaches.
So,
I know the Jazz is the youngest, isn't he?
oh yeah, the dude's in his diapers still, man.
Yeah.
He looks like a baby.
He looks like Mo Wag,
baby.
one of the centers on the team, bro.
So, yeah, I've got Miami and Chicago. You've got Miami and Sixers, did you say?
No, I got
Coming
Chicago and Philly. Depends where they're going to end up. That's the thing, man. Like who they're going to verse and where
Come
they're
on,
going
man.
to
You
end
got
up.
to make. You
Yeah,
gotta
but if Philly
decide.
goes up, and Miami drop, and then Chicago versus Miami.
Yeah.
I've got Chicago.
Okay. So you got to make a call. How's it going to end? So how's the standings going to be, and who's going to come out?
I bet. All right. So it's going to be Philly, Miami, Chicago, and Atlanta.
Philly, Miami, Chicago, and Atlanta. Okay. And who's going to come out of it?
Philly will beat Atlanta. Miami will beat Chicago.
Okay. So you've got
Philly will beat Chicago. Philly will beat Boston.
Hang on. Just for the play-in first.
Okay, yeah. So Philly will come out victorious.
Okay, so you've got Miami and Philly, yeah?
As the two coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Chicago and Miami. All right. So
You're snubbing the Sixers like that.
yeah, I don't say it. I think that's it. They've done what they needed to
Embiid,
do.
I think, is trolling you, cuz.
Joel. Dude's name's Joel, man. Stop trolling everyone. Joel. Okay, Eastern Conference Finals. Who you got?
Philly.
Philly and who?
Boston.
And who's going to win it?
Oh, wait. Again, no, not Philly and Boston, because if Philly come out, they'll be in the 8th seed, right?
Okay, hang on. Let me bring up the other one.
Yeah. So if Philly come out, they'll be in the 8th seed, which means that they'll be versing Boston.
Let's do this one. Okay. So who's the 7th seed, did we say? Sixers. So Sixers and Bucks. You said Sixers would be the 7th seed.
Okay, so yeah, then I've got in the Eastern Conference Finals, I got Boston and Philly.
Okay. I've got Miami and Boston.
You think Miami's going to do that again?
Yeah.
You think Miami will beat Boston, won't you?
I think
Boston don't want to verse Miami.
I think they've got the pedigree.
Well, putting Terry Rozier on the team made a massive difference, bro.
Yeah.
Massive.
I think Miami's got the pedigree from the ball boy all the way to the coach. Boston, I think, yeah, it's sad, man. Honestly, the age that we're living in, a Boston team should be victorious. This is their chance. This is their one shot. It's just coming at a time where there's other people. They're in other people's story. It's not their story.
Yeah,
they're
playing the role in someone else's story. Yeah.
That's the sad thing for me.
Everyone's in Philly's story.
So yeah, I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna say Miami and Boston.
Shit.
And I hope they give us a good series that is a nail biter that can go either way, and the team that wins gets smashed by Golden State.
Dream.
So yeah, Eastern Conference. I've got Miami and Boston. You've got Boston and Sixers. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Moz had Boston and Cavs. How does Cavs work?
Bro, are you trolling us from home?
I would not be surprised if Heat are over there over the Cavs. So he's got Boston and Heat as well. If the Cavs don't.
Oh, so his first go-to is the Cavs?
Cavs have got a bit. But you know what? I don't like that matchup. Pacers and Cavs.
Oh, Cavs win that matchup.
You reckon?
Yeah. But then again, Donovan Mitchell's still struggling with injury. Mobley's back. You got Allen back. Like, you still don't have...
I would have liked the Cavs and Knicks, to be honest. That would have been a good
You still
series.
don't have Strus either.
Mm.
Cavs and Knicks would have been good.
That would have been a really good one. And it could still happen.
Magic and Knicks will win that series.
Hopefully. But I think that's their success this year. If they win one series, that's a success. It's sad to say. I'd love to see New York go all the way, but without Julius Randle, I just don't see it.
Could this be CP3's last chances at a title?
Man, I spoke about CP3. Let's move to the West then. So we've done that. So okay. So Moz has Boston and Cavs or Boston and Heat. Cop out. I've got Boston and Heat. You've got Boston and Sixers. And play in... who did he say play in for the East? Did he even say
It would have
play-in
been
for
Miami,
next?
wouldn't it? Because he's got
yeah.
Miami in the semi.
Play-in, he's got Heat and Philly. What did you have? You had Philly and did you have Chicago? Oh crap! I had Chicago. Yeah, but
sure.
it doesn't matter. I've got Heat anyway. Yeah. What did so you had? Yeah, so Moz had Heat and Philly. Look at this cop out, man. But I have a feeling Magic could drop into the play-in picture.
Don't put it in
Because
don't
of
put it
their remaining games, especially when they're versing the Bucks twice out of their last 5
You
games.
cop out. Bro,
Hard.
you cop out.
Hard. All right, so
shit take.
moving on to the West, who have you got winning the play-in? So
That's a very hard question, bro.
I've got it exactly like that. So we were talking about stories just before. I think the story is the West.
You don't have it like that though, because you didn't think that Lakers and Golden State are going to stay there.
No, I said they'll come out.
You said Lakers will be making a move.
I actually didn't say it, but I said the play-in. I expect the play-in to be those two teams coming out of it.
What, Warriors and Lakers?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I.
So I think Lakers probably, if they play the Warriors, they'll lose one game and then they'll win the next.
So who do you think will win that game out of Lakers Warriors? The first one?
If the Lakers are the top seed, 7 or the 8,
yeah,
they'll lose against the Warriors the first game and they'll win the next game.
Oh, I reckon they'll win against the Warriors, and then the Warriors will have to go down
I don't
face the Kings, and the Warriors will beat the Kings.
I don't think LeBron cares if the Warriors make it because they're both not going to play each other in the postseason. They'll get knocked out. One of them will get knocked out by the other unless they both make it to the Actually, they won't even make it to the conference. I think they play each other, won't they? In the second round. Isn't that how it works?
So winner of 9 goes to the second seed, and they get to the 7th seed.
Yeah, so first round, and then they'd play, wouldn't they?
No.
Oh, no, they wouldn't. So they won't meet until the conference.
I reckon Lakers will beat them. I reckon Lakers...
I want to see that conference matchup.
That'd be pretty cool.
Bro, that's the storyline.
Nearly everybody.
That's the storyline.
They've bloody dominated nearly every finals in the past.
They play each other in the play-in. They have a grudge match for the Western Conference final.
That'd be pretty cool.
That's the story.
NBA probably wants it.
And whoever goes through beats Boston.
It's going to be interesting to... Yeah, that's true.
That's both
those teams will beat Boston.
That's the story.
You have someone like LeBron James, someone like Stephen Curry. You can never count them out of a 7-game series, man.
So I've talked myself into that now. So I've got the play-in to be those two, and then I've got the conference finals. As crazy as this sounds, Lakers and Warriors. If they actually do, because they don't meet each other, right?
So you're ignoring the whole Clippers, you're ignoring everything. Suns.
I don't care.
Thunder.
It's not their story.
The two bottom bitches you're putting at the top.
It's not their story. Right. Is that how it works?
It should be Clippers' story.
Hang on, am I tripping? So so the Warriors will be the 8th seed.
So the winner of
Minnesota.
The winner of 1 and 8 go through to play the winner of 4 and 5, don't they?
So 1 and 8 goes, is it 4 and 5?
I thought that's how it was. And then 3 and 6
it would be 3 and 6. It'd be the lower one, right?
Does that work like that in the second round?
Surely it would. The advantage goes to the higher seed. So if that's the case, then it'll be OKC and then whoever. So OKC and Nuggets will be the second round. Is that right?
Yeah. OKC and...
Is it possible for the Lakers and the Warriors to meet in the conference finals?
It's hard to see from that.
As the 8th and the 7th and 8th seed?
Well, things can still change. We're not at the end of the season yet. Still 5 games to go.
So if it is possible, because I don't know, man, my head's not working right. If it is possible, I think it's Lakers, Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, and Yeah, Warriors taking it all. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, bro. So who have you got? So play-in coming out of the play-in. Have you got?
Coming to the play-in, I got Lakers and Warriors.
Okay. So who have you got in the Western Conference Finals? I told you this would be a while, man. I told you this segment would be a while.
I got the Nuggets and Lakers.
Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And who do you see making it to the finals?
One of them. The Lakers. Lakers,
Who,
man.
Boston or someone else?
I reckon AD will be too much for Jokic. I reckon he'll get Jokic in foul trouble. I reckon he'll give him shit and give him hell. I got King James this year, man.
Who would they meet in
In the finals.
Yeah.
Philly.
Okay. So you've got Philly and Lakers.
Yeah.
Okay. What do they say? Bet.
Bet. But don't. It's haram.
So Moz has in the Western Conference Finals, he's got Clips and Lakers. LA.
Two LAs.
The
Like
Battle
a
of
derby
LA.
finals.
And for the Eastern Conference, he's got Boston and Cavs, and then another cop out. But wouldn't be surprised. Again, cop out, man. Clips and Lakers, but wouldn't be surprised
tough
if
one for the
Mavs
Clips.
sneak in as well.
Why you just say the whole bracket could possibly win? Bro.
The MVP
What
could
are you?
be
Charles Barkley or Shaq? Like, what are you?
the
Come on, bro.
MVP could be one out of the 300 players.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Let's put a bet on it.
Okay, so that's it. He's got ooh. Did you see who has his champs?
Clips.
Yeah.
Oh, man, let me just say something. From when we were young, me and my brother, we've always said our entire lives, Clippers will never win a championship. Just because that's what we know. Like, if you know, you
Up
know.
City, baby.
Murad, yeah, they're not going to win.
It's that Bulma,
I don't
man.
even think they're going to get to the finals.
The Bulma effect. Cool. Let's move it on to
Keep it move.
clips of the week.
Oh, clip of the week.
Clipses of
Or
the
clips
week.
of the week.
Clipses. So who have I got? So everyone's had a submission this week. That's good. So Moz, let's start with our absentee brother. He has sent me. He actually didn't send it. I asked him to send it. He didn't send it, so I had to go look it up like a hobo. So let me see if I can find it. How do I do this? Did you see this already?
Mm-hmm.
So his submission is Mr. Doncic. There you go. I said it right. You happy?
Mm-hmm.
Luka Magic. So Luka's little trick shot shenanigans pre-game. Very Curry-esque. They actually both did it in the same stadium. They had their little
Half-point shootout.
trick shot battle and the half-court battle, yeah.
Yeah, but I noticed that while Steph was hitting a few,
Stepping over the line.
yeah, no, but I noticed that Doncic was missing a few, and yet all the ones I see is just him hitting one. I think, well, why aren't they showing how much Steph was hitting?
Curry hit it first go, I think.
Yeah, and he hit 2 or 3 of them in a row.
Yeah. None of this mucking around. So Moz's entry was Luka Doncic at home. Is that at home? No, it's Houston.
That's insane, man.
Do you know what that reminds me of? That commercial that we saw the other day with Magic and with Bird and Jordan, the Macca's one.
Yeah, it's funny you said that because last night I saw the one with LeBron and
Off the backboard,
who was
over
it?
the highway.
LeBron and Dwight
but
Howard. They redid that ad years and years ago when they were
Did they?
young. Yeah, it was
Really?
exactly the same. And then Larry Bird comes and steals in McDonald's.
No, I don't like that, man. It's iconic.
They were
Leave it
doing
iconic.
dunk ones. It's the exact same thing where they had McDonald's there. And
I gotta check that out. I might bring that up. So that's Moz's entry. Not bad. I actually like that.
it's art.
My one.
I saw a clip on that saying someone talking about rigging of games, saying, see the magnets in the ball, like the missile, and see the face on his teammate after that, like how mad he knew.
Did this same guy ever play basketball?
No, probably not.
Come on, man.
Well, then again, all these trolls on what do you call it, TikTok and all that, none of them play basketball. They sit at home on the keyboards, talk about diabetes and shit.
They got some nice takes though. The internet's it's undefeated, bro. This is my submission. I've gone back and forth. So, did you see this?
I've seen this, man. They're like, bounce it.
You gotta bounce it in.
That's bouncing.
No, wait, it's not a free throw. You gotta do bounce.
Bounce.
Will, you gotta bounce it. Will,
Shit.
you have
No
to
one
bounce
gave
it.
the
You
instructions.
have to bounce it into the basket. You have to bounce it. Yes, you do. And you have less than 15 seconds to do it. No.
He didn't make any of them either.
I think he gets one.
No, he doesn't.
No, okay. This is not.
He's still trying to bounce.
We're about to go viral.
We're about to go viral right now. We are about to go viral.
So that's my submission.
Shit.
Which one was your one? So I think my one's winning so far. What do you got?
I think this one has to be the winner again.
YouTube
I'm the
shorts.
clip king, man.
The clip king.
Like this, like. This is unbelievable. Comes back to refereeing, man. Like, what the hell were these refs thinking?
I think you might win this one, man.
This is crazy, man.
This is fascinating.
This is connected.
2 refs watching it as well.
Signed to a second 10-day contract. Lance Thomas had the privilege of facing the Charlotte Hornets.
Not dramatic.
With
I
hopes
know.
to earn playing time for the rest of the season as a member of the Garden Faithful. Thomas achieved something no NBA player could have imagined that night. He bent the rules.
Stepped out. Traveled. Dribbled.
Did you see what the ref was saying? It was
good.
Saying it was touched.
Thomas violated league rules of the game 3 times in one play and scored
You see it?
in the process.
That's ridiculous.
It started when he dribbled towards Hornets center Al Jefferson and stepped out of bounds.
Yeah.
Then he jumped, landed back on earth with the ball in his hands and traveled. The official signaled that Jefferson deflected his shot, but Thomas regained possession in midair. Lastly, he restarted his dribble, which would result in a double dribble. All 3 calls
What's
were
with the
missed by
narration?
officials, and Thomas ended up scoring 2 points. Lance Thomas defied the odds. Along
Bravo.
with completing the impossible, Thomas scored 16 or
And that's how you
points
beat the
in 3
refs.
consecutive games, including
That's how you beat the refs.
That's insane, man. Like,
How does that even happen? That's amazing. That's clip of the week. I'm voting for you. I like that one.
damn right.
That's fascinating.
It was wild when I saw that. I was like,
That was-
what? How did they let that jump?
That was art. I like it.
He'd fit in today's modern league perfectly. 100%. All the Kawhi
What's
Leonards
his
and
name?
Giannis's and
Lance. What?
Thompson.
Thompson. Thomas. Thomas or Thompson?
I don't know. He's a flog. Look at him. He can't even.
Second 10-day contract. I love it.
These new ass players, man.
I think we ended on a high like that. What do you reckon?
I think that guy must have been high, man, to play like that.
Moz, get better. And again, we thank you for watching.
Shoot King.
We thank you for watching. We thank you for following. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you like what we're doing, like it. If you don't like what we're doing, dislike it. Let us
Very
know.
nice.
Not a problem. Like, dislike, do it, whichever you want. And comment down below. Be engaged in the conversation. This is a conversation between ballers, so please
Yeah.
keep the comments coming. Like, share, subscribe. And until next time, peace. We out.
Not diabetes and doctors. They'll let you know.
Not diabetes and doctors.
Yeah, because you're like, this is a conversation for ballers.